I was a weak man until I discovered this secret, and what happened next completely transformed not just my body, but my entire relationship with masculinity itself. 3 years ago, I was everything society told me to be: polite, agreeable, conflict avoidant, and constantly seeking approval from others. I followed all the rules, worked hard, tried to please everyone, and wondered why I felt so empty and powerless despite doing everything right. Then something happened that forced me to confront an uncomfortable truth about modern masculinity that nobody wants to discuss. I was at a social gathering when a situation arose that required someone to step up and handle a genuinely dangerous scenario. Without going into all the details, what mattered was this: when real leadership was needed, I froze. Not because I was scared, but because I had been so conditioned to avoid conflict that my natural masculine instincts had been completely suppressed. That night, I realized something that changed everything. I had been living my life according to feminine principles in a masculine body, and it was destroying me from the inside out. So I started researching how men lived for thousands of years before modern society domesticated us into submission. What I found was shocking but liberating. But before I tell you what I discovered, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there is a sleeping giant within you that society has taught you to keep quiet? That is not imagination. That is your ancestral masculine energy trying to break free from decades of conditioning. Here is what I learned that changed everything. For 99% of human history, men were defined by their ability to face danger, make hard decisions, and take responsibility for outcomes. We were hunters, warriors, protectors, builders. Our nervous systems were designed for stress, challenge, and competition. Modern life has stripped all of this away and replaced it with comfort, safety, and endless entertainment. The result is millions of men walking around with the body of a warrior, but the spirit of a servant. So I decided to conduct an experiment on myself. For 90 days, I would live according to ancient masculine principles instead of modern social expectations. The changes were immediate and dramatic. First, I started training my body like my life depended on it, not for aesthetics but for genuine physical capability. Second, I stopped seeking approval and started making decisions based on my own judgment. Third, I embraced competition instead of collaboration in areas where winning actually mattered. Fourth, I learned practical skills that would make me useful in genuinely difficult situations. And finally, I started saying no to anything that did not align with my core values, regardless of who it disappointed. The transformation was not just physical, though that was dramatic. The real change was internal. I developed what I can only describe as quiet confidence. Not arrogance, but the deep knowing that comes from testing yourself against real challenges and surviving. People started responding to me differently without me changing how I treated them. Opportunities appeared. Relationships improved. Problems that used to overwhelm me became manageable challenges. But here is the most important part. This is not about becoming some hypermasculine caricature. This is about reconnecting with the balanced masculine energy that our ancestors took for granted. The combination of strength and wisdom, power and restraint, confidence and humility. Modern society has convinced men that these qualities are outdated or toxic, but nothing could be further from the truth. The world desperately needs men who can think clearly under pressure, make difficult decisions when necessary, and take responsibility for the outcomes. If you are tired of feeling like a passenger in your own life and ready to reclaim your authentic masculine power, follow this channel and hit that notification bell. The journey back to your true self starts with understanding that comfort is the enemy of growth. What is one area of your life where